Yo, in today's video, I want to give a brief update on Cosmos DeFi. To be more precise, I want to talk about PersistenceOne and their next milestone achievement with one of their main products called pStake. What pStake does, it liquefies your staked assets, and the first one that they liquefied is Atom. Now, you might think now, man, what are you talking about? Why should I liquefy my asset? It sounds weird. The thing is, if you stake your Atom through Kepler, for example, and delegate it to one of the nodes, maybe to stake Cito, your assets are kind of locked and illiquid. The only thing that you're basically doing is securing the chain, securing the Cosmos hub, which is super important and also great. And you can vote, you can participate in governance, right? Those are the two things. But other than that, your atoms are basically locked. You can't generate additional yield with that. You can't put them to work for you, right? Well, they're actually already working for you, but that's about it. pStake comes in and liquefies your staked assets, which means that you still earn your staking rewards, but you have a liquid representation of your staked assets, and you can use them in DeFi, not just within the Cosmos ecosystem, but you can use them as an ERC20 token in Ethereum DeFi, which is absolutely huge. So now you're not just liquefying your staked atoms, but you're also bridging Cosmos DeFi with Ethereum DeFi. And this, my friends, is a big deal. That's why in today's video, I want to talk about that and also where we currently are, because that is a slow transition from building the product, rolling out the product, and also making sure that every single step is secure, because this contains bridges, it contains wrapping, and it contains a lot of other things. And if you want to learn everything about it and also keep track of Cosmos DeFi, PersistenceOne, also other projects like hedera hashgraph that I talk about sometimes, Algorand, those kind of things, then consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. If you're already subscribed, thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. Like this video, share it with 1 or 2 friends on your Twitter, on your LinkedIn, on your Instagram, on your Facebook. Tag me as well. And finally, also make sure that you watch this entire thing. All right, before you watch this video, please make sure that you watch my interview with Tushar Agarwal, who is the co-founder of PersistenceOne. And we talk a lot about persistence in general, their different teams with Comdex, with pStake, how they're structured, how they're working, how they're operating. But also, more precisely, I talked in this interview with him about pStake. This was a couple of weeks ago, so before even the staking gala went live, the final bug bounty program, and also the final testnet before it went on mainnet. But yeah, I asked him a lot about security measures, about how it works under the hood, all those kind of things. So please make sure you watch that video. And before we get into the wrapping and bridging of atoms, let me talk you a little bit through about what PersistenceOne actually is and does. It's basically comparable to Terra, right? Terra has built a lot of different applications, and also they have integrations. They have launched their own stablecoin. They have Anchor protocol, Mirror protocol, synthetic asset marketplaces. A lot of cool things here, their own exchange, TerraSwap, right? A lot of cool things there that have built this massive ecosystem with 2.5 or 3 million users, by the way. And Terra is based out of Korea, and PersistenceOne is based out of India, right? Which is also a big crypto market. But they're not just limited to India, obviously. They're spread around all around the world, and they are also doing something similar, just with different flavors, right? With different focuses, with different niches that they focus on. So one of their core products is pStake, liquefying assets and building a secondary market, not just for Atom, but also for other proof of stake based assets, such as, for example, polkadot, right? Or Ethereum 2 when it comes out. So those are the main things that PersistenceOne does. They also have other products like Comdex, which is more for institutions. And that's how they actually started with Comdex, but now they have switched more over to Cosmos DeFi. They also recently partnered with Tendermint, which is the main tech arm behind Cosmos, or one of the main tech arms. And also Tendermint has invested into PersistenceOne. So that's pretty exciting. So you can find everything else here on their website. They're also running staking as a service with Audit One, right? So whenever you see Audit One or securing chains, that's them, pStake. And like I said, also Comdex, which is a commodities trading platform, mostly for institutions. pLand is coming soon. That's kind of like the Aave for the Cosmos ecosystem. Really excited for that. And yeah, so that's basically PersistenceOne, like you can see here, actually Terra has also invested in it, Tendermint in the Interchain Foundation, Alameda Research, right? So we might see some ties also to Solana in the future, Arrington XRP, great to have them on board as well. Huge fund, huge network, really important to have that. But let's move on to pStake, right? So pStake, they have the separate website, by the way, pstake.finance, unlocking liquidity for staked assets. Securely stake your assets to earn staking rewards and receive a one-to-one packed stake representative that can be used in DeFi. So you can basically imagine that you stake your atoms in that case through pStake, right? And then you get a staking representative of that, which you can use in DeFi applications on Ethereum. So that's basically the high-level overview. You can also stake both coins natively, right? So currently on Cosmos, the Atom token has an APR of 9.32%. You can also, by the way, delegate it to my node, Stakecito. And I think it actually makes sense to diversify it, right? So if you listen to this now and you think, oh man, this sounds amazing, I want to liquify all my stakes and go through PersistenceOne, you can do that, but I always recommend to diversify and apply different strategies, right? So for example, stake some natively through Kepler, right? Chill. Then use pStake. Then also use something like Osmosis, where you can provide liquidity on a DEX. Then also get some liquid for example, when Emirates comes out, right? There's also going to be opportunities there, so that you gain experience along the way. You minimize your risk, because everything in crypto is lines of code, right? And there's always risks attached. So always make sure that you diversify your risk and mitigate your risk as well. And XPRT, which is a native coin of persistence, we're going to look into in a second, currently has a 30.6% APR. You might think, oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah, but just because they recently launched half a year ago, even less than that, so they're still in the hyperinflation phase, right? They still have high inflation. All right, so from this article, which was released on July 9th, they announced that pStake is going live on the mainnet on July 12th. And if you read the quick TLDR here, you can find out the most important things, right? So pStake will enable liquid staking for the Cosmos network, which means that Atom holders will be able to deposit their native tokens and mint representative tokens on Ethereum mainnet, right? So this means you can only do that with liquid assets. If you have your Atoms staked right now, you have to unstake them first or unbond them with 21 days of unbonding period, and then you can deposit them into the pStake smart contract and get a token representation on the Ethereum mainnet. You mint that yourself. But the thing is, again, if you have, let's say, 100 atoms right now, and you want to use pStake, right, and you want to FOMO in, again, don't go with all your staked atoms. Don't unbond all of them right now, because this is still early and they're actually saying that. So we're going to look into that as well. So here's how they roll it out. This is really, really, really important, guys. Really important, the most important. The beta release is kept to ensure a smooth rollout. Deposits will initially be capped at a total of 50,000 atom, increasing by 15,000 atom every week thereafter until the cap is removed, which tentatively is on August 23rd, right? So they give it 1 month to roll it out slowly. I think also during that time, right now, they have security audits going on. So they're basically rolling it out very, very light. Just make sure also that it doesn't get flooded with TVL. And to make sure also the bridges work under real circumstances, right? Of course, they have had bug bounties before. They have tested and stress tested the platform on various testnets, but now it's live, right? And you want to make sure that this thing works and this thing is secure. And also per wallet, you can only wrap 500 atom, right? Which is really cool. So that prevents also people from just FOMOing in. But the minimum deposit is 5 atoms. So anything between 5 and 500. Another thing that they also said is that they implemented early user incentives, which is live until the uncapped release, August 23rd, where you don't pay any wrapping fees or service fees, right? 0%. However, the validator commissions, which you also know from Kepler, for example, if you delegate your stakes to a node on Kepler, you also see this commission column where it says how many percentage of your staking rewards the validator is taking. In our case, it's 5%. That's kind of like the low end average. Many of the others have also 10%. pStake is currently still undergoing its security audits. use only at your own risk, right? Super important. Right, before we get into the actual platform, this is one very, very, very important aspect you also need to understand, especially in the beginning, just to set and mitigate your expectations here. And that is the initial liquidity, right? So the grand vision of pStake is that one, you get rid of the 21-day unbonding period because there's a pool of atoms that you can always go in and out of. And second, there needs to be some receiving pool, right, where you can where you can put your staked, tokenized, wrapped assets to work for you. So neither of that is live and available at the beginning, right? And they said it. So first off, initial users of pStake will not receive the benefit of being able to exit their staked positions early or access early liquidity. Additionally, if a user chooses to unstake their deposits asset via pStake, they will still have to wait a 21-day unbonding. There's a reason for that, right? It's not that there's no demand. It's just that they want to make sure that it's secure, and also that we will not be creating any liquidity pools until the platform reaches a solid amount of TVL. So there's this kind of like slow rollout, right? Where they say, okay, we have to take it slow because we want to make sure the code is secure, the bridges work, everything works smoothly and securely. On the other hand, they say, okay, we need to have liquidity because we need to have a purpose for staked representations on Ethereum, right? We need to have a purpose for that. So neither of that is live yet, but I think this just comes with the time, and that's also the plan here. So I just want to point it out here, not that later you'll come, oh my God, I can't do anything with it, but they actually say that, right? And there's a reason for it. So just read the documentation, you understand. Now we are coming closer to the platform. But I also strongly recommend you to go on docs.pstake.finance and just read all of that. Just read all of that, right? It's so important that you understand it. This article is just a small recap what it is, how it works. But here you can find everything. You can find everything how it works. You can find a user guide, how to connect your blockchain wallet, how to get started with the app, how you deposit tokens, right? All details about the bridge. But let me just point out the two most important things. Because there's actually two bridges or two important steps in that process on how you get your staked token representation. Because there's actually two steps in that process on how you get your staked token representation, right? And that's why they have a dual token model. The first step is to bridge your assets from the Cosmos network to the Ethereum network, right? So that is an ERC20 based one-to-one packed representative of a POS token that is not being staked with any validator, right? So this is the first step. And that's the first time also you need to make a transaction, the first time you need to pay a fee, even though like we've just found out, initially the fee is being waived, but later there was going to be a fee. So first you need to bridge your asset over to Ethereum. Second, your asset needs to be staked, right? So your STK token needs to be staked on the native chain, right? In that case on Cosmos, but soon also on Polkadot or Solana. A wrapped stake token that refers to an ERC-based, ERC20-based one-to-one packed representative token that is being staked on a POS chain, which is integrated with the pStake app. Now you might think, how are they going to do that? What are the validators? How are they being chosen? And you just click here on stakeholders, and you can see here the initial safe-listed validator set is stake.fish, Chorus1, Figment, Cosmos Station, Everstake, SG1, Audit1. So those are the initial set of validators that one, receive delegations, but two, also verify the process in the bridging, right? So this is a trustless, decentralized bridge, not comparable to something like Rep Bitcoin, where you have Bitcoin on this Bitcoin network, and then you have to go through through a centralized middleman, custodied by, I think it's BitGo, and then you get a representation on Ethereum, but the funds are actually held by BitGo or by some middleman. In that case, there's a bridging kind of like verification that goes through those set of validators. And this is really important. It's designed to become a trustless bridge. Of course, initially it's really hard because there's only 7 validators, but this will be decentralized. I talked to the team. They actually said there's some parameters, right? Like uptime, how much skin do they have in the game, and then they verify, or an algorithm verifies basically which validators they should choose. Those are the initial 7 ones, but then more and more will be added, and hopefully stakecito as well one day, but we're still small, so gotta get more delegations so we're in the top 10. Anyway, so this is really important. And again, here, if you learn about the bridge, they explain here about the decentralization aspect, about credibility, transactions, how it works, all those kind of things. Okay, so now let's actually go on app.pstake.finance, and you can connect to a wallet here, either MetaMask or Wallet Connect. I choose MetaMask. Boom. Now, when you come to the main page here, you see down there the total of p atom that is wrapped, number of atom wrapped as p atom in circulation. So those are liquid, and then that's also why this number is way higher, because there's 13,257 that are wrapped and staked, and then 217 that are wrapped but not staked, right? So it just floods from here to there. But this number is pretty good. Total number of staked atom available in circulation as STK atom, and that makes it a total value locked of 145,000. Now, if we go back here to this article, we can figure out that they will open liquidity pools once 125,000 atoms are in TVL, right? And right now, we only have 13,000. So that's still a bit less than a 10x to get there. But we're going to contribute to this now. So let's get there. Click on wrap. I'm going to put 10 atoms here. Boom. And we're going to use Kepler for that. Approve. And then sign the transaction here. We're going to take average, and yeah, just wait a second. You can see it says 10 p atom added, and here's already our balances, so that went pretty quick. There's still a little bit of bugs here. I noticed while I was on the site here that sometimes I get 404 error, but I think that's just front end stuff here. So you can see here we have 10 p atom in balances, and now we want to stake them, because now they are not staked, right? They're liquid and unstaked, just bridged on the Ethereum chain, but we can now stake them, and then it gets equally distributed to those 7 validators that I have shown you earlier, right? So if we want to stake them, let's do max, or let's do 8. Let's do 8 p atom. You can see the APR is 7%, which is a bit low, because normally the on-chain staking rewards are 9-point-something%. But yeah, and this doesn't even include the pStake fee, right? So that's what it is. But 7%, and then we can do that. Click on stake. Now it connects to our MetaMask, right? So we have to pay Ethereum gas fees, which always, as you know, are pretty high. And now you have the direct user experience with Kepler and with MetaMask, which not just in performance and the gas fees is like day and night, but also the interface, right? I think MetaMask, like, they could level up. But anyway, transaction is broadcasted to the network, and boom, while we're at it, 8 staked atom was added. We can also see that here. Now we have 2 p atom and 8 staked atom. So yeah, that's about it. Now, the thing is, right now we can't do anything with that, right? It is liquid. It's on the Ethereum network, on the Ethereum chain, but we can't do anything with it, right? It's just sitting here. Usually what is going to come very soon, and that's I think also why they chose a dual token model, is pools between liquid atom and staked atom, and then you have things that you can do there and use them in DeFi, right? Provide liquidity, have a secondary market for that as well, so you can go in and out of staked positions or do whatever you want, and have apply different yield strategies, right? Use it in lending or whatever, right? But it's always packed to the value of Atom. So you now have a tokenized version of Atom on the Ethereum blockchain. That's the bottom line. Now, next step, again, we have to wait for liquidity pools to come up, for DeFi products like lending to come up, but that's just a matter of time. Now, the most important is the security. That's why I want to give it also time to prove itself, right? I like that we have a total value locked of nearly 150,000 US dollars, but let that grow slowly. Let's make sure that the contracts work and function are secure, and then we can take it from there. Anyways, I hope you like that little introduction and tutorial here about PersistenceOne. And yeah, if you have any comments, feedback, or anything else that you also want me to cover in the future, let me know in the comments down below. That said, stay safe, guys. Be good. I'll see you in the next one.